We are nearing the end of September, which means that Kingdom Hearts Dark Road is soon coming to an end. A very sad, unfortunate end, but an end nonetheless. We already know the main story points. Most of Xehanort's friends die, and he eventually chooses to walk the path of darkness. But this story is more than that. This story is Xehanort's journey. It's about his temptations, his search for answers. And we should get plenty of answers when the finale finally does hit. Oh boy, it should be something. Prepare for the feels, my friends. Today on Kayfie's Corner, we will go over the top 5 burning questions that the Kingdom Hearts fanbase needs answered before Dark Road finally wraps up. And there are still quite a few important plot points to tackle. So, let's just sit back and enjoy the beginning of this final descent down the Dark Road. The first question is perhaps the most obvious, and has been on our minds since the first episode of Dark Road dropped. Who is Xehanort's surviving classmate? At the end of Chapter 1, a regretful and remorseful Xehanort announces to Ericus he's taking his leave from Scala, as he stands by 4 of his friends' gravestones. And a quick count of Xehanort's other friends, Erd, Hermod, Bragi, Vor, and Balder, brings us to 5, which leads us to believe that someone must have survived whatever fateful event it was that befalls them. But who? In all the Kingdom Hearts games to date, we don't really recall seeing any one of these characters. So if one of Xehanort's friends survived, where are they? And why aren't they around helping? This is a question that I feel Dark Road has to answer before its finale. Question number 2 is a little less obvious than the first one, but just as important. Who the heck is Kairi's grandmother? And how does she seem to know so much information about the state of the worlds, as well as information about Union Cross and Dark Road? I know she said this speech way back in Kingdom Hearts 1, but it has never had more relevance than it has now. Kairi's grandmother specifically knows that there was a war over the light. She knows that darkness was then born in people's hearts. She knows that the world was lost or destroyed, and she knows that lights from the hearts of children help to rebuild the world, which is why they are still scattered. This is way too much for the average grandmother to know. There absolutely has to be something more to her character. And I fully expect we will receive an answer by the end of Dark Road. Question number 3 revolves around the 7 upperclassmen that went missing at the start of the story, prompting Xehanort and his fellow classmates to begin their search. What happened to these 7 classmates? Are they all dead? Or are they simply just in a great deal of trouble? Will Xehanort and friends be able to save even one of them? I'm also really curious to know if we have ever met one of these upperclassmen in a previous Kingdom Hearts game. Because interestingly enough, they have never mentioned any of these upperclassmen by name. The closest we have got to a name is Balder's sister. So perhaps Dark Road doesn't want to spoil a major surprise, and one of the upperclassmen could in fact be someone we know. Someone like Kairi's grandmother, or perhaps even Master Yen Sid. One thing's for sure though, one way or another, we will find out the fate of these 7 missing upperclassmen.
When I was still serving as a Keyblade Master, it was known that the ancient masters had crossed over into another world. I surmised that Xehanort looked more deeply into that world.
The ancient Keyblade Masters!
The next question revolves around the mysterious former Keyblade Master, Master Yen Sid. Yen Sid specifically has information about the ancient masters, information no one else is aware of. He also speaks of a time he walked the path of a Keyblade Master alongside both Ericus and Xehanort. Yet, we have yet to see him do this in Dark Road. So where does Yen Sid fit in? And why have we not seen him in Dark Road when we know he was around at that point? I'm curious if Dark Road will tackle the issue of Master Yen Sid's Keyblade, or lack thereof. Because for a former Keyblade Master, it's pretty odd we have yet to see him wield a Keyblade. At all. Maybe the events of the upcoming finale will be too much for him to bear, so he decides to hang up his Keyblade for good. But one way or another, we should get some information about Master Yen Sid's mysterious past in the upcoming finale.
Who are you, really? Some kind of fortune teller?
Well, I could lie and tell you that's what I am when I'm actually a brilliant artist, or even a scholar. I could tell you that I dream of world peace when I'm actually planning for its destruction. The truth is what you see with your eyes, not what you hear.
The fifth and final question has eluded us for some time, but we may get more clarity by the end of Dark Road. Just who is the Master of Masters, and what is his name? While I don't think his identity will be revealed in a phone game, I do think his name will be. And I feel his name will still leave the fanbase clamoring for more answers as to his true identity. We know for sure that young Xehanort has a long conversation with the Master before his Mark of Mastery exam, and we also know that he told young Xehanort his name. So, since the end of Dark Road is the story of Xehanort's descent towards darkness, surely the finale will have to include this monumental scene. And then we will finally be one step closer to truly identifying the Master of Masters. These are the top 5 questions that I feel Kingdom Hearts Dark Road has to answer in its finale. If you have any answers to these questions, feel free to leave your theories in the comment section below. And don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you've enjoyed this or any of my other videos. But most importantly, have a fantastic day. May your heart be your guiding key. And happy gaming!